Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to another part of my F1 Manager 22 career mode here for the Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the previous one uploaded 7 days ago at the US GP, then be sure to go check that one out before you see this one, because that was our first ever proper dry race. After the new patch came in that changed everything with the tyre wear, the fuel gauge, everything like that. It was a difficult race, and apologies, it's been 7 days since that episode. I've been seeing some comments of other videos that you guys have been waiting for this one. Obviously, you may have just seen I had a lot of other different videos and ideas that I wanted to explore in the last week, but we're back, and hopefully we'll kind of have a bit more concurrent episodes to kind of get to the end of the home stretch of this season. We've got 3 rounds: Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. Times are tough though, because we're still getting used to how to manage the race with after that patch, and clearly at the US GP I overdid it a little bit with the aggression on how much I was pushing Valtteri and Pierre in the races. Tyre wear a massive issue at the end, fuel not so much. I think we were pretty okay on that the whole way through since the beginning of the game. It was more the tyre wear and having to accept that actually maybe Mercedes will be beating us potentially, you know, in all 3 races. Maybe we'll try our best, obviously, but we've got the cushion in the championship. 365 points to their 292, so that's not a worry. I think even if we have 3 horrendous races, we'll still beat them. So this is more about trying to learn the best way to go about things and just try and push the car as much as we can, and the drivers, because Gasly, we have 1 development point with him, and I think I'm going to add that on to his defending, because that has been a pattern with Gasly, that we're able to make a lot of overtakes, but sometimes we get caught in a DRS train where they kind of just swap positions left, right, and center. So we'll go for +1 on defense to get up to 73. And then in terms of the car improvements, if you weren't kind of clued up on how things are going right now, we've got an underfloor in research right now for next year's regulation set. If I go to the research tab, we've done the front wing, we've done the rear wing. Those are the 2 things that have minor changes for next year. The underfloor is actually the same, but obviously we realise that there's a massive benefit at doing research for components, because there's a much bigger percentage jump for next year if you do a research rather than just designing it for this season. So I was kind of debating already before I clicked record about designing maybe like a new chassis or new suspension, but you know, as I just said, there's more use of doing another research project, so why don't we? We know, you know, the rest of this season we don't need a particularly quicker car than what we've got right now, because I think we'll be comfortably getting P3 in the championship, so we may as well kind of take a leaf out of Haas's book from, you know, 2021, and at the end of this season just don't develop the car, you know, in real terms in this season. We're just going to spend all our money, all our resources, the CFD, the wind tunnel time, the ATR period into the research. So we've done, well, we've got the underfloor underway, we've done a rear wing, we've done a front wing. I'm going to go for a chassis research development. That's going to affect the top end speed and acceleration of the car performance, and generally also maybe boost the low speed cornering and the dirty air cornering and the engine cooling, which could be, you know, you never know, might be an issue in a future season. So we'll go ahead for the chassis. I think it's nice to spread the research across and not put all our kind of eggs in one basket when it comes to the research, because that might leave us, you know, a little bit vulnerable potentially, you know, track to track. Okay, no, I've seen a problem now. I actually am mistaken. We've got 7 days, 7 measly days till the next ATR period. So that's 1 week, probably just after this Grand Prix. And if you remember, if you did watch last episode and the previous couple, we actually ploughed in all our CFD and wind tunnel into the underfloor research, and the other one, I think it was the rear wing research. So I need to wait actually 7 days to do a new resource project. So actually, either way, I can't even make a design for this year's car or next year's until we have to elapse 7 days in the calendar. But if I go to the calendar, you can see in 7 days' time, the Grand Prix will come and go. So unfortunately, that will have to wait until the start of the next episode. So in that case, we're just going to plow on straight into the Grand Prix. Looking back from the previous Grand Prix in terms of the debrief, our engineers reckon brake cooling is still something we need to look at. So I don't know, actually maybe that means we should switch our minds from chassis to maybe suspension of research, because that is going to affect brake cooling. And then the smoothness of Valtteri Bottas is something that could be improved, apparently, according to the debrief. In terms of facilities, upgrading that, we are able to afford a factory upgrade, maybe even a design center. So factory would improve the car manufacturing. So far, that hasn't been a massive issue. Design capacity, that might be quite useful if we're really trying to build momentum with designing new parts. It's $11.5 million. We've got 13 million in the bank. I don't foresee the need to buy extra spare parts and break the engine regulations in terms of, you know, new ones for the end of the season. Only 3 races left, so I'm going to go for it. I've seen a comment before, like I think 2 episodes ago, that one of you guys was saying I need to spend more on the HQ facility. We didn't have the money to do a big upgrade like this on Design Center until now, so we may as well go for it. And, you know, as I've said many times in the past, when it comes to manager games of this kind, you've got to spend money to make money. We'll make this back with good performances next season by designing new parts with this level 3 design center. So that'll take 84 days. So it's a long-term project. So actually by the time we get to next season, that will come in just in time. So this is the time to make this purchase. So we're going to go ahead and splash the cash, $11.5 million for a brand new design center. So we're down to 1.5 million, but that's fine. I think we should be good in terms of engine components. So let's get into the Grand Prix weekend. Right, so simulating FP1, this time Theo Pourchaire taking the car of Pierre Gasly, since Bottas was the next one up. And holy grid penalties have we got here for Mexico. So we've got Sainz in the front, or both Ferrari cars, so kind of balances out, because of course, wasn't it, I think last episode, both Red Bull cars took penalties, so the 2 championship rivals taking turns at which round they're taking these random penalties. We've got Fernando Alonso in the Alpine, Lando in the McLaren, both McLarens actually, and both Alpines as well, because Ocon's down there, Joe in the AlphaTauri, Magnussen in the Haas. So that's, well, none of the Mercedes cars, so Mercedes are still going to be there, but the Ferraris, obviously, as we saw with the way Leclerc was able to catch us in the US GP when we were leading at one point, that's going to be quite big for Red Bull, but also for the whole race, because that's going to be them, you know, hopefully quite far back down the order when it comes to Sunday's grid slot. But as ever, they're so quick, they're probably going to make their way through. But definitely having both Alpines with penalties will help out, because Alpine have been getting quicker and quicker in this season, so less for us to worry about. So we just focus on that kind of, you know, usual fight that we've had the whole season with the Silver Arrows. So set of confidence 68 with Pourchaire. He continues to impress as a young driver with this set of confidence. Bottas 53. That's actually pretty decent though. We can work with that as we go into FP2. Oh my god. Okay. Apparently we've gone the complete wrong way with Gasly. We went with 58%, was it, that Pourchaire gave him with his car. We've gone down to 47. So for once, usually we jump up with Gasly from like 50 regions straight up to like high 80%. We've gone the opposite way for once with him rather than Valtteri Bottas, so bit of work to do there. We did have to I basically changed the rear wing so dramatically, so maybe that was the issue here. And of course Mexico, one of those weird circuits, there's a weird compromise here because the air is so thin, because this circuit's so high with the altitude, that there's this weird compromise where, you know, you can actually run quite high wing and get away with it. And 98 with Pierre Gasly, so took a bit of time, but we finally got there. We're ready for qualifying, and we'll just see what how we end up in FP3 at the end with some soft tire running. So in the end of it, pretty productive FP3, finishing up in P2 and 3. Whether that's the actual pace of our car, I don't know. We have, to be fair, remember, early in the season, we did make a special rear wing, which, to be fair, I just kept on for the whole season, which reduced our drag. So maybe this is actually just going to be a really decent Grand Prix for us, maybe over one lap. In the race, maybe it'd be a different story with the tyre wear, and then also factoring in maybe the Ferraris coming in. It might equal out to be an okay Grand Prix then, because of course we've got all these grid penalties to come. But now we're going to head into qualifying and get into that top 10 shootout. Right, Bottas on his first flying lap in the top 10 shootout, of course, as we are now, kind of formality of getting through to this session. So we're just skipping into this last session on this Saturday. And let's see what we can do. First run, just marginally ahead of Lewis Hamilton by 9 thousandths of a second. Alonso probably with traffic maybe on his lap, so he's definitely going to have to go again. Gasly, not too much traffic. Looks like he actually just passed Bottas maybe as he starts his flying lap. There are a couple of cars he might catch, but I think most of them are also on a flyer as well. So let's hope. But it would be kind of tradition for one of our drivers to get caught up in traffic on their first run. But that's a very solid time for Bottas to be ahead of Hamilton. I believe, looking at when I simulated Q2, Bottas was ahead of Hamilton in Q2. Gasly not so much. So even though Gasly's got a higher setup value, looks like Valtteri's taking to the Mexican GP circuit a bit better in terms of our fight versus Silver Arrows and the Alpine cars. But of course we know the Alpines will be taken out of the equation, so to speak, with the grid penalties, as well as the Ferraris, to be fair. So wherever we finish up, we may gain quite a few positions on the grid, but equally that means the Silver Arrows can again luck into, you know, near enough maybe the same sort of thing they had in the US GP with their front row lockout, as we do get hit with traffic, and it's going to be Fernando Alonso. So, shock horror. Shock horror. Alonso loves to mix things up in real life, and Gasly had to step out that, and that's a horrendous lap time. 7/10 off sights. Bottas 4/10 off, so all in all 3/10 slower than Bottas, and you could kind of see where that 3/10 was. That was literally through the last two corners where we had to lift off because Alonso was in front of us. So that's frustrating, but we do have a second run and a fresh set of tyres as well for it. So let's just hope we can send them out right at the death and get him in clean air. Okay, we're cutting this pretty fine. Oh, Bottas spun! No! Oh, I was going to say we're cutting this fine. Bottas spun before he even began his second flying lap. What's going on, mate? What's going on? Replay. Gasly crossed the line to start his lap. We had about 10 seconds to go. The pressure got to Bottas, and he span in the last corner. Oh, absolute howler, mate. I'm sure his rear tyres now are absolutely cooked. We'll finish the lap. He actually made the checkered flag, ironically, but I don't know if there'll be much of improvement. So Bottas, to be fair, is in P4 right now, so that's ahead of both Mercs. Let's see what Gasly can do to close the gap. Maybe Bottas may not need that second flyer, but I really hope that's not a sign of the Hungarian GP Bottas that we saw earlier in the season, or the Japanese Grand Prix Bottas, where he went on to take out both Red Bull drivers and have a horrendous race. I really hope that's not an early marker of that, but we'll stick on board with Gasly to see how this rounds out. Green first sector, green the second sector. The last sector is where we lost a lot of time to Fernando Alonso, so hopefully this is going to... What? We need to refuel suit. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me he's running out of fuel. He was fine on the first lap. What are you on about? Cross the line. No issue. No, all fine. Across the line. Gasly does improve. And that is a very solid qualifying. Even with this spin, we didn't need their second flying lap. We have beaten both Mercedes cars. That is very promising. Gasly and Hamilton actually setting the exact identical time. But we are P5 and 6. But remember, with the Ferraris with the grid penalty, I don't know how large their grid penalty is, but no matter what, you know, a 5-place penalty will take them both behind us. So we will be on a second row for both our cars. Bottas will be up into third and Gasly up into P4. At least that's how I see it. Of course, I thought the same sort of thing at the US GP in terms of I thought it would be a lot higher, and then the penalties worked out not to be the case. But I'm pretty sure with the Ferraris ahead of us with the penalties, both of them, we should be on the second row. But it's going to be a front row lockout then for the Red Bull guys, and it'll be an all third row of Merc, but maybe one of the Ferraris might be stuck in there with Leclerc, maybe splitting the two Mercs. So actually a very, very solid day in the office on Saturday, but it could all start to unravel on this Sunday. We need to try and learn from our mistakes at the USGP, and this will be a race where I need to bite my tongue a little bit in terms of not pushing them too hard, even if it means I'm losing time to the Red Bull cars. To be fair, they're not in our fight this season. Obviously, we have fought them before, but now, after the patch, it's a lot more difficult. We have to be realistic. We're looking just to try and manage the tyres and stay ahead of both Mercedes cars. So, strategy-wise, apparently a one-stop here, which is odd because Mexico usually is a two-stop, at least on the Cody's F1 game and in real life as well. but there is rain. There is rain. Okay, that's a massive plus for us because that, you know, we know already from Japan that the wet, obviously, tyre wear is there, but we are much better at managing that. And that just gives us opportunity to be a bit adventurous with when we make those pit stops. So the crucial thing is that first stint, I say medium tyres, that will easily go until, well, as you can see there, as the rain falls down. I'm gonna guess, basing off Japan, around where the wet segment was, like this line here, I reckon we could switch from mediums straight to the full wet tyres potentially, then go full wet for about 10 laps, then switch to inters, then kind of suck it up, and then move to full wets again, because it will get dry a bit around lap 37 apparently, and then get wet again. So it's going to be an interesting one. There's actually quite a few decisions to make on the fly, and I'm really hoping, like Suzuka, unlike Suzuka, we don't make maybe the error we did at the start of the race where we didn't switch over in time. And the AI, equally though, do make some of those mistakes and we can benefit from it. So actually, my prayers have been answered. This now may be a better race for us because of the rain.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. And there's Valtteri Bottas. Starting in third place, they're in a really good position for this race. Next for the team, it's Pierre Gasly. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. And we're just moments away now. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexican Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
And the race is underway. We're going to pause it straight away to go on attack and on the fuel as well, because I actually forgot to set that before we get going. But we are indeed on the third row. We're on the third row. Then you got the two Mercs. Leclerc P7, Sainz all the way down in P18. So that's massive for him. But of course, Leclerc is the one in the championship lead. So any hope of Sainz closing that gap up is probably gone in this race. But we're going to ride on board with Gasly and Bottas. So we get going. There we go. Bit of a weird start to the race there as we stop and start straight away. But Bottas up into P2. Riding more with Gasly to get a better look. There goes Hamilton on the left-hand side there. Gasly down to P5. Bottas getting a slipstream off Max Verstappen into turn one though. Goes second place. Perez and Hamilton side by side. Can Gasly do anything to get them on the exit? Doesn't look like it. So just like from quali, maybe Gasly lacking a bit of pace versus Valtteri, because Valtteri is having a go at Verstappen maybe for the race lead. No, he'll stay behind Verstappen weaving about. Gasly 3 wide with Hamilton and Sergio Perez, and Gasly down the inside. It could be 2-3 for us Alfa Romeo boys. It is. What a great overtake by the gas man up in P3, Bottas P2. That is a perfect start because, you know, Verstappen, very tough customer to overtake, but getting Perez and Hamilton, that is very sick. We'll watch a replay here. Great dive bomb round the outside, committed to the 3 wide through that entire section. Got the move done on the second of the double right-hander just before the winding, twisting next section, and the team loving that in the replays back at the garage. So 2-3 right now for us, and Bottas pressurizing Max Verstappen. In terms of tyres that everyone's on, looks like the majority, well, the top 9 on mediums, couple on softs, so they're risking it a bit. And to be fair, already tyre wear a big factor, 97%, 96 compared to Verstappen's 98. And Bottas is going to go for a move. We're going to go to neutral though, because we don't want to overuse our ERS. We'll get in the tow. Bottas pulls out to the left-hand side. Verstappen defends the inside. Is there a car behind us? No, we've left Perez for dust. Now, can Bottas dive around the outside? Verstappen with the defensive move. Bottas goes for the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. Come on! The flying Finn, our flying Finn on the left-hand side. He's still going at it with Max Verstappen. The two are going to be neck and neck as they go into the last corner. Bottas tries to outbrake him. Verstappen on the outside, but he's going to go the long way around. Can Bottas do this, or will Verstappen hold station? And this fighting though is not helping us because we're actually getting pushed back into Sergio Perez. Meanwhile, Gasly is just sat behind them, watching this fight with a bucket of popcorn. They're still side by side for nearly a whole half, 2/3 of a lap. This is incredible stuff we are seeing here. Bottas going toe-to-toe, and there's literally no difference. They're going to be side by side for an entire lap here. Lap number 2 to be specific. We are wearing out our tyres quite a bit, but remember, the rain is coming, and Bottas is through, I think, as he comes through the final bend, the place where he span in qualifying, remember. Bottas leads the Mexican Grand Prix. Probably not for too long, though, because now DRS will be activated, and Verstappen's going to get straight into making a move as we watch on board from Gasly. Verstappen on the left-hand side now. But like I said, the tyre wear, even though we are already 4% more tyre wear than Verstappen, it won't matter because we're going to the wets around what is, when's our pit stop window? In 14 laps time. That's fine. So unlike the AI, we know, they might not be thinking about that as much as us. And so we know we can afford to wear out the tyres because we're all going to switch. It's not going to matter. So just like in Suzuka, where this literally the same thing happened, it's all fine. So from here, now really, we need to try and break the toe, break the 1 second with Bottas, and try and get Gasly past, and then we can control this race from 1 and 2. But what an electric start this has been for our team, running 1 and 3 right now. Right, going defensive ERS with Bottas, overtake mode with Gasly to try and see if we can keep Verstappen at bay and get Gasly coming through. Looks like Verstappen used a lot of his ERS on the previous sector, and a bit of a gap's formed now. 4 tenths to Verstappen, further 3 tenths back to Gasly, and crucially 2.3 seconds to Checo behind, the home favourites. So that's great news for us. We're already looking a bit overcast. As long as we can keep Bottas ahead of Verstappen, we can close Gasly up. And ideally, we need to make this switch. We need to get Gasly ahead of Verstappen, and then we can actually work as a team. Right now, we're very vulnerable to Verstappen ruining our plans, slowing us up. But as a trio, we're pulling away from the pack behind, which is now spearheaded by Lewis Hamilton, who just made a move on Perez. So the order is Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz up into P13 already by the 4th lap. Remember, he was down in P18, so that Ferrari in clean air making very good progress. And Gasly now is going for a move on the outside into the stadium section. As I was looking on at Carlos Sainz, Gasly down the inside. That is perfect. That is what we need. That is what we need. Now deploy with Bottas. We're going to go, well, neutral with Gasly. Hopefully the DRS just helps. I mean, oh no, Verstappen's there. Verstappen's there. He's side by side with us. We'll go overtake mode instead. And both of us with DRS. And we're going to both close up to Bottas. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix by Pierre Gasly. Closing in, using the toe of Bottas to stay ahead in 2nd place. Verstappen's still lurking around though. He's still there. Both of us with DRS still. At this point, I'm going to start to harvest with Bottas, because now we have got the 1-2. Verstappen tucks in behind. So now, potentially, do I try and tell Gasly to hold up Verstappen? Because we can play it this 2 ways. We can either try and DRS train each other and pull away, which I think is the better option, or we could try and use Gasly to hold Verstappen up. Going to go down to standard fuel mixture either way, because we have overused it a tad. And, oh, Gasly may go for a move. I've got no team orders right now, so if Gasly was to go for a move on Valtteri, that's his own precedent. I might be even tempted to say don't overtake him, just to stay with him. I think I might, We've done it a few times. We've done it with Bottas before, so it's Gasly's turn now to not fight him as much. Let's just stick behind him. I really hope, though, Verstappen doesn't close up too much. DRS open for both of us. Verstappen is gaining. Verstappen's gaining. He may go for the double pass if we're not careful. He's going to tuck in behind. This is ideal for us. Just staying like this is ideal. We've done it with Bottas so many times, so it's time for Gasly to just sit in behind and not overtake his teammate. And let's play the team game as he pulls out. Oh! Did he just disobey? Okay. For a second there, I thought he just disobeyed my command there. He pulled out to make an overtake and then backed out of it and remembered his command. So for a second there, I thought we were just seeing some new coding there of our driver ignoring our team order. But it's working. We're staying as a trio. 3 seconds to Leclerc. Now it just depends on that Ferrari's rapid though, so will the Ferrari close up? I guess we're going to find out. Okay, Gasly's falling away a little bit. Going to go overtake mode. Yellow flags. What is that for? What is yellow flags for? I don't know. There was a replay, but it didn't really show up, and we're out of DRS now. And Leclerc's span. That's why. Verstappen just is overtaking us as we speak, but Leclerc spins it in the final corner. The championship leader, he's got a massive margin, doesn't matter for him. But now Verstappen has overtaken us. Somehow, even though both Gasly and Bottas were on neutral ERS, Bottas unfortunately pulled away just enough to break Gasly's DRS. And that just was a sitting duck then. Left him as a sitting duck for Max Verstappen. So, basically, our own drivers unengineered the plan we were doing. So now we need to try and rework the plan, try and get Gasly back ahead. And crucially, maybe not just put Bottas on neutral ERS, because I think that's the thing that was doing it for him. But Bottas going defensive, Verstappen really attacking us now, really going for it. Right, going overtake mode with Gasly, defensive ERS mode with Bottas to try and keep Verstappen at bay. Whether it works, I don't know. Defensive ERS deployed, but Verstappen's charging, and we've got no more deployment, and Verstappen steams on by. No deployment. What happened there in the deployment region? There was nothing for some reason. There was absolutely nothing. So Verstappen leads now. We're 2-3. Perez now P3, 3 seconds back, which is good for us. I want to try and get Verstappen if we can. He's right there for the taking, but now that he's in clean air, do we have the pace to keep up with him? I don't know. Right, Bottas with DRS. Don't need to go anything but probably harvest, to be honest. We can probably harvest on ERS and still overtake him. Gasly behind probably does need to deploy a bit to catch up to them. But there goes Bottas back into P1. We love to see it. And Gasly's going to close up. Harvest there.
Very good.
And we'll harvest through the next couple of corners and then go deploy just to keep up with Verstappen. And now we're in. We're cooking. We're now back here. And we can try and re-overtake him on this next lap. Verstappen's gone for the move. Verstappen's got us. Verstappen's got us in Sector 1. We now go deploy. Deploy for both our drivers. And we're going to get him back. To be fair, we can go harvest with Bottas because he'll gain enough time. He's going to gain enough time here as we go ×1 speed. Gasly closing up, though, with deploy and DRS open. He might even make a double pass. To be fair, let's take this off now. Let's take this off. Fair fight. No team orders anymore. If Gasly has the pace to overtake, I'll let him overtake. I'll let him overtake. Right, here we go. Lap 12. Bottas is going to gain with DRS. Surely he gets him by. Surely he's going to wave him by. Back into P1. But Bottas, Gasly, though, we just can't make this switch anymore. We did it early on, but now we're finding it hard to do so. And I'm thinking about also, to be fair, what are we going to do when the rain comes? Because we'll want to pit them almost at the same lap, but I won't be able to do that because I think the double stack, well, we won't want to do a double stack, so I need to also think about the risk. I think Gasly, if he can't get Verstappen and remains in P3, let's risk him and pit earlier for full wets, I'm thinking. Right, I'm going defensive ERS with Bottas just to try and stay ahead if we can. Deploy with Gasly. Let's see what happens here. ×1. Verstappen with DRS open. Bottas defending well. Bottas defending well. Here we go. Gasly through on the inside. Come on, this could be beautifully choreographed. Gasly down the inside of turn 1. And it's a 1-2 right now. Where is Verstappen, though? No, he's still there. He's still side by side with us. We're still deploying ERS. Bottas on defensive ERS to try and defend from not only Verstappen, but his own teammate. And now our two Alfa Romeo cars are side by side. And Gasly is going to try... Oh, it's 3 wide. Oh, we pinched Verstappen. What a beautiful pincer move. Gasly P1 now, Bottas P2. It's a great pincer movement, though. What a great move there to get ahead. Now Gasly has no ERS, though. He's on 1% ERS. He's on harvest. And Bottas, well, he wants to overtake, but also needs to defend from Verstappen. I don't know what we're going to do here. Let's go defensive ERS with Bottas to just try and keep Verstappen at bay and say don't overtake. So Gasly's done one set of not overtaking. Now it's Bottas's turn. And can we somehow just keep this 1-2 if we can defend against Verstappen? Or is he going to overtake both of us? Let's see what happens. Bottas, can he block Verstappen? Please block the inside. Please, for goodness sake, block the inside line. Doesn't look like Verstappen's going to go for a move. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we needed. More defense from Bottas there. That's going to allow Gasly to charge up his ERS. And I'm just hoping this works. Please, again, block him. Please, please block him. Look behind. Good. That's perfect. That is perfect. So far, we are micromanaging this perfectly. But then the rain's going to come and probably ruin everything. But you never know. You never know. All right, Verstappen's going for a move. Oh, I think he's got it. He's got it. Oh, he's got both of us. Oh, what the? Verstappen with a blinder move. Gasly's fighting him now. He's on harvest mode, though. He's on harvest mode. Where's the DRS line? Surely we have DRS now on Verstappen. Right, go neutral. Surely we get him back. Surely we get him back. Come on. Come on. I now ironically need to harvest with Bottas. Gasly closing. Surely you get him into turn one, mate. Go on, go for it. Pull out. Pull out for the move. No. Okay, harvest, harvest. Oh, Verstappen spun! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Verstappen spun it on lap, whatever lap we're on. That was insane. Nearly a T-bone collision. No contact made. I don't know what that replay was, though. Because it seems like the game reset Verstappen. Because he just span it. But I would have thought Gasly would have overtaken him there. He span it in Sector 2. Blocked us all. And then that replay came in. We kind of cutscened out of it. And now all of a sudden, Hamilton is on the back of us. And Perez. And Russell. And Leclerc. So Verstappen has spun it. Not lost the lead. He's broken DRS now, or maybe just not. But all he's done is basically become his own safety car and backed us up. So now this race becomes even more challenging to manage. I need to go deploy. We need to get him on this lap. We need to get him on this lap. We're going to go, also, don't fight too much. Yeah, okay, push. Push with both drivers. The rain's going to start falling soon. But we're going for the move. Have we got DRS? Yes, we do. Okay. We didn't deploy too much, though, down that straight. May as well harvest now. May as well harvest. Is Bottas going to go for a move? Don't think so. We'll just close up. Look at this, though. The top 7 in one camera shot. Right, Hamilton is lurking right behind Bottas now. So we have a direct fight with our competitors as the rain is starting to fall now. So we need to make a call. We need to make a call now. The rain is falling. I reckon that's full wets. I think that's full wets by the time we get to it. So do we go straight to full wets? Do I split the strategy? Stay out longer with one driver, go full wets? And what is everyone else doing? Is anyone coming in yet? Any of these guys? I'm going to look at this tire screen on the left-hand side and see if anyone comes in. Right, track is damp now. We're all going very slow. It's time for inters. But will it be time for wets soon enough? I think so. Surely, surely. I'm going to pick Gasly in this lap, full wets. We're going for it. We're going for it. And with Bottas, well, we're going to have to double stack. Because they're actually going so slow. You can even see visually. And Verstappen's pulled out 2.1 seconds. Just because of his wet weather driving talent. He's pulled out 2.3 seconds in half a lap. Ridiculous. But I'm going to have to double stack them. There's no way they can't come in now. But I'm going to put them both on full wets. No mucking about. It's not inters. It's going to be inters for a brief moment. Like, it's already 2 millimeters of rain. Like, it's going to get to 4, surely. It's going to get to 4 within, like, 2 laps. This is the gamble I'm taking. In Suzuka, we didn't take the gamble. Or rather, we played it too sensible. We went to inters, and we got caught out. Because other people went on full wets. So we're going to learn from our mistakes. Go to full wets. And if that doesn't end up being correct, then I don't know what's going on. Because from what we learned from Suzuka, that graph says it's full wets. It's going to be full wets in about 2 laps' time. So we're coming in. I don't know what Verstappen's going to do. He's coming in as well. But we're going to do the double stack with our team. Because we have to. We have to. So okay, Bottas is going to fall down the order. But it's what we have to do. Surely, well, Perez stays out. He's going to be... Well, we're going to see. We're going to see where Perez comes out in relation to Bottas. Because that will be the real, you know, litmus test if the double stack was worth it or not. But Gasly's in. Full wet tyres. What's Verstappen on? Verstappen's on... Oh, doesn't say. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. What is he on? What is he on? Full wets? Yeah, Verstappen on full wets. So we've matched the race leader, or the once race leader. Bottas has come out behind Hamilton, but no one else. So he's lost one position. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And things are getting interesting. Verstappen is closed up to traffic with cars. We've all closed up to traffic of cars. Oh! Gasly around the outside of Verstappen. Gasly's going to get Verstappen. Perez and Leclerc, they're going like absolute lemons on this dry tyre, on this really wet circuit. And so Gasly effectively will be in the race lead after this. Let's go deploy. And let's go deploy with Bottas. And let's try and push away if we can. Gasly gains 2 positions. Verstappen's right behind us, though. No DRS. No DRS. Majors help us, because Gasly's in the lead, deploying all we've got to defend. Bottas, where is he? Oh, he's got Hamilton. Bottas just overtaking Hamilton. Gasly stays ahead, and Hamilton weaving about, and Bottas up into P3. Safety car! Okay! So, we're going to neutralise the race. Safety car, that's good. That gives us a bit of breathing room, to be honest, just to understand what the hell I've just witnessed. This Suzuka was a mad race. This is ending up being the same, because there's a multiple car collision. It's involving the McLaren, Ferrari, and Alpine. Who's going to lock up, I wonder? Oh! The McLaren and Alpine collected together. 2 major rivals in the real championship collect. Safety car out. So Gasly leads this race under the safety car, ahead of Verstappen. Bottas P3 ahead of Hamilton, and the others are finally pitting for those wet tyres. Under the safety car, there's a couple of people on inters. Now these people on inters, they actually might be okay in this region. Like, it depends on how long the safety car goes for. They're going to be so slow if this safety car comes in within a lap or two's time. But if it goes out any longer and they can survive 1 or 2 laps, as soon as the rain starts to come down, they could be in a pretty good position. Okay, right, safety car is coming in this lap. It is time to get ready for deploy. Pushing on fuel. Pushing on tyres. Maximum push. Because we're 1-3. And I want it to be a 1-2, but I'm very fearful of how quick Max is in these conditions. Verstappen is so quick in these conditions. Here we go. We are going green. Hamilton's in? He's pitting for Inters, isn't he? Him and Leclerc. Oh, that's clever. That could be a blinder, you know. Coming in for Inters. Ooh. I guess we're risking it. I guess we're risking it with Max. Us Alfa Romeos and the Red Bull. We're risking it. Both Red Bulls and Alfa Romeo staying out, staying firm with the full wet compound. Bottas may go for a move on Verstappen. Please, mate, make the dive bomb. Gasly's pulling away a little bit. Bottas has been deploying the whole lap, and he just can't make the dive. We'll stick him behind with Harvest. Try and save some more ERS and go again. Gasly doing well, though. 7/10 ahead. For now, Sector 2 might be a different story. 2 cars out, yellow flags. I want to see what the last lap time was for Hamilton. 1:49. Okay, he still hasn't done a full lap on Inters, so I don't know if the Inters are quicker or not. They probably are, because we've got 2.6 millimeters of water, which is definitely Inters territory. But what are the yellow flags for? Oh, Ricardo out. Is that going to be a safety car, we think? Probably not. Let's go deploy with Gasly. Try and stay ahead if we can. Yellows. Safety car. 2 safety cars in this race so far. Okay. I think it's time to go to Inters. I think it's time. Inters. This is Inters, right? This will be... That's not fully dry, but that's not full wets. That's intermediates. It'll be wet again, but for this first part, after this safety car, it'll be Inters, and we might get caught out if we don't come in. Where's Bottas? Russell, you little jammy git. Russell's going to have a free pit stop already here on Inters. Russell may lead this race if we come in. Let's see. Multiple car contact. Oh no, Ricardo actually crashed into someone and then retired. And it's McLaren v Alpine again. Wow. McLaren have really gone for the if we can't beat them, we'll just take them out strategy. Yeah, Russell's got intermediates on. I think we should come in for Inters. I think we should come in for Inters. Oh my god, we're the only people didn't come in. Oh, we were too far. We were too far. We missed the pit entry. We missed the pit entry.
Sounds like a single car.
And Albon's now crashed under the safety car, is it?
Now we see
is this under the safety car or just before? Just before the safety car. He span it or just went, oh, big spin. Big lock up on the rear. When did Verstappen put on Inters? I swear this is just glitched. I swear to you. I swear I just watched this screen and it said he was on full wets. And now he's magically on Inters. How's that happened? How has that happened? Oh, we're going to be 10th if we pit. We're going to be 10th if we pit. Ah, that is painful. That's painful. That's painful. Oh, we're going to have to go for it. We're going to have to go for it. Because we're just going to be too slow. We're going to be too slow. I'm going to... No, you know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to split the strategies. Gasly's in the lead right now. We're going to leave him out on wets. I'm going to pit in Bottas. I'm going to pit in Bottas. Because he'll be P10. Gasly maybe has half a chance. Depends how long the safety car goes. Maybe there's half a chance he can carry those wet tyres all the way through to the next wet period. Maybe. I'm risking it. I'm risking it. Oh, Verstappen is in. Okay. Thank God Verstappen came in. Okay. I'm risking it with Gasly. But justice with Verstappen coming in as well. I thought for a second the game glitched and wasn't going to make him come in. Because he was on full wets. He was. But now Bottas is in. He's going to be out in, well, let's see, P10 probably, like it said. P10. Oh, Verstappen. Ooh, where are we? P11. P11 Bottas. P1 with Gasly on full wets. I need the rain to come back ASAP. Okay, safety car's probably coming in this lap. Oh my god. The wet, the track water is as low as it ever has been. And this safety car is definitely coming in on this lap. Is definitely coming on this lap. Oh, God. Yep, here we go.
Safety car in this lap.
Safety car in. I have no choice but to attack here with Gasly. And we'll just see. This is a big, big gamble. How many laps do I need to survive? I need to survive 6 laps on these full wets. And then I won't have to pit again. Because I'll already be on the full wets that we need. Okay, here we go, Pierre. Come on, mate. Come on. There's an AlphaTauri behind your old team. Your old teammate is right behind you. Let's see if we can keep her at bay. As we go green. Is he slow? He looks a bit slow, I'm not going to lie. But everyone's bunched up, to be honest. So let's just see how this plays out. Oh, my God. That looks really comical for some reason. But Gasly is remaining in P1. It's all rather pedestrian-like right now. Right, half a lap and Gasly's still surviving somehow. Tyres getting a little bit warm for Bottas on the Inters, ironically. Not with Gasly so far. And Bottas gains a position on Leclerc. Bottas gains a position on Leclerc. Did Leclerc make a mistake or is he just really slow in this train? And Bottas round the outside as Leclerc has to cut the corner to keep going in a straight line. Interesting, right. Gasly, can he stay ahead? Can he keep on doing this? I don't know how long he can do this for, but we're going to see. We're going to find out. We're deploying again. We're going to have to go neutral now because I just don't have too much ERS to keep going deploy. And that might just invite some pressure from Tsunoda, who's gaining, but won't go for a move. Thank God. Oh, big collision with Tsunoda and Gasly. Oi, oi, oi. Tsunoda with a controlled drift. And he's hit his old teammate. And now Magnussen, of all people, is in the race lead. Gasly continues on. No damage. No damage for him, so he continues on just fine. But now in P2. And now he's going to hold up everyone behind him. But Magnussen's going to get a clean run now. Magnussen could run away with this. Right, Tsunoda around the outside now. Now the overwhelming pace of the intermediates is coming back through. But it is actually now technically wetter on the track than it was before. So we have some hope. This is the most painful period of this entire thing. As long as we can just about manage to stay, you know, just basically, if we don't fall lower than P10, this will be an okay gamble for us, I guess, because we would have had to have come in and be around P8 with where Verstappen is. Sainz comes through, but your top two are Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, and now Sainz, of all people. Sainz, who started in P18 in this race, remember. Hamilton's going to overtake us probably. He's P5. Will he go for a move? Probably. Let's see. No, not yet, but Gasly's very slow. Gasly's very slow. But if I can, let's say hold back the cars behind. Let's slow them all up and just try and, you know, just try and be a nuisance, basically. Right, Hamilton's going to make a move on the outside. He's definitely going for a move on the outside. There you go. Overwhelming intermediates grip. Okay, we're nearly past the point where it's painful. I mean, it's still quite damp on circuit, but it's definitely time for it's definitely Inter's weather. Let's put it that way. But I have now committed to this, so this is our life now. Bottas, to be fair to him, has been stuck in this train the entire time on attack mode, so he's no better in reality, really, as he's stuck there. But this is Gasly's view then behind. Oh my god! Oh my! What the hell? I watched that live. Sonoda, Gasly's old teammate, just smashed his rear wing. Oh my god, what a crash. Gasly's crashed so hard that he's glitched through the barrier. Look at where we are. We're in a grandstand. His whole rear end's been destroyed. Oh my god. Oh my, we have glitched through the entire circuit. We have gone out of the map. We have gone out of the map of the circuit. That I literally, where is he? Look at where he is on the map there. He is there, way outside the confines of the circuit. This is unbelievable. I mean, I'm so gutted that he's out of the race. Like, that's so annoying. But that's also outstanding. He's at the map. This is like those old Call of Duty glitches where you'd glitch out the map. He's literally glitched out of it with no rear wing. I really wish I could view him from like off board here at this point, but oh my days, that is hilarious. That map right there, if all the name tags go away, he's literally, yeah, look at where he is. Let's watch this replay. This is going to be, well, I think it's more of a case of Tsunoda not judging how early Gasly has to brake under full wet conditions. And it's a massive collision. And Gasly literally breaks the sound barrier, it would seem, and goes straight through. And the cameraman's not following that. Absolutely not. And Tsunoda and Gasly are out. Wow, this has been some race. Safety car's out, obviously, and yet, look at where he is. That's ridiculous, how much ground he's covered. If that was real life, I mean, that would be the most horrific F1 crash you've ever seen. Like, oh my days. Jesus, what a horrendous crash. Right, well, we've got one car left, P8. It's only up from here, I guess, for him, but my God. Right, safety car ending, I believe, on lap 35. We're halfway through this race, and so much has happened as we get going, and Bottas may try and cheekily overtake Russell on the inside. Let's go for it, mate. Let's go, please. Is people following us? Oh, actually, that might be more of a defensive tactic on Leclerc, as everyone spreads out a little bit as we come down to the run at turn 1. Right now, Magnussen, remember, leads the way from Zhou Guanyu, Sainz, and there's a spin. Russell span it right next to us. You saw that Merc veer off to the edge. Bottas up into P7 now behind Verstappen. So there's still plenty to do in this race. But let's see. Crash involving multiple vehicles. Did Russell actually crash into someone? He might have just actually made contact with... oh, he made contact with us and span out. So Bottas held firm, held position, and did not allow Russell to bully him around. Good stuff from our flying Finn. He's now gone down the inside of Verstappen. The man he was racing literally at the start of this race on the dry compound. Round the outside. Can he get P6? Don't think so. He's on the inside line, though, so we get the better run. And we do get him up into P6. So this is going well, actually. Good recovery for Bottas so far. Might even have a chance to go on Hamilton right now on deploy mode. So that might be a massive Oh, no! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Bottas! Oh, my God. And the same thing's happened. What? Okay, there's got to be something... There's something funny happening here. There's something funny happening in the coding. I don't think it's a coincidence that both our drivers crashed and they both glitched out of the map of the racetrack. But Verstappen, Hamilton, and Bottas crashed. Hamilton v Verstappen has blown up again, but Bottas involved in it as well. I think maybe it was actually Verstappen probably crashing into Bottas, and it was kind of a bit of bowling pins crashing into Hamilton, because I thought that was a bit weird the way Bottas just careered into the back of him. So that's both our drivers out. So now we are literally just watching the rest of this race. Magnussen leads the way, but here we go. This will confirm. Did Verstappen hit us first? I think, yes, Verstappen crashed into us, and that took us out of this race. So in both instances, we got careered into the back of on the rear end. So both our crashes were not our fault. Yes, with Gasly, we're on colder or warm, wet tyres, so we broke a bit earlier, and Tsunoda maybe got caught out. But here, both on Inters, Verstappen just locked up, hit the back of us and ping-ponged us into Hamilton, and both of us are out. Verstappen's still in this race, though, with a time penalty. I swear to God, if he gets good points here, I'm going to kick off. That is absurd. But, well, Magnussen leads the way from Joe Sainz. I'm just going to fast-forward this now. And it's a safety car again. So how many safety cars has that been? I think 4 safety cars in this race then. Absolutely bonkers Mexican GP. I genuinely thought this might be a mundane race, but this has turned out to be more chaotic than the Japanese Grand Prix that we had 2 episodes ago. So, because we've not got any strategy to do, I'm just going to sit back now, fast forward this, and we'll just see what on earth this crazy race has in store. Zhou Guanyu, our old driver, remember, is now into the lead in an AlphaTauri versus Magnussen. It's a Haas 2-3. What is going on in this race? This is absolutely insane. This is biblical. This race has truly been a biblical race. Right, they're all putting onto wet tyres now. Schumacher stayed out on Inters. Joe fell down the order with that pit stop. So in the end of it, the kind of status quo will come back through with the Ferrari and Red Bull leading the way. That's a bit of a shame, but I guess in the pit boxes, these lower teams are just a bit slower getting those tyres on. But remember, there is maybe more rain to come, and then it will dry up, so the race won't be over yet. But let's just fast forward and see what happens on that dry period. Right, so here we are then on the last lap of the Grand Prix. What did I say? I am kicking off big time. Verstappen, after everything, he's going to freaking win this race by 38 seconds. The little git took us out. He took Bottas out. I know Bottas apparently got a penalty for it. I don't care. That was his fault, okay? And he's going to win this race. Unbelievable, FIA. Unbelievable. So, it's dry now, as you can tell, on the soft compound. So, because of the pit stops, a couple of cars lost out. The Haas and AlphaTauris got pushed down. But Verstappen's leading now by 38. Sainz P2, only starting his last lap now. Mick Schumacher, though, on for a podium in the Haas in 3rd place. Ahead of Perez. The 2 AlphaTauris are 5th and 6th. And Tsunoda's actually trying to overtake Perez for P4. Norris P7. Magnussen, Russell, Leclerc round out the top 10. But here comes Max Verstappen coming through. I'm so happy for him. So happy. You know what? Actually, I remember. This is karma for when Bottas took out Verstappen and Perez at Japan. This is actually karma for that. So I can't complain too much in reality. The F1 karma balance scales have truly been balanced out because Max Verstappen wins the Mexican Grand Prix. What a mad one, though, with Schumacher on a podium. Tsunoda and Joe, our old driver, in P6 and 5 there. And the championship leader down in P9, Russell P10. So Mercedes will only get 1 point. So even though it's a double DNF, not to worry. Our rivals only gained 1 point on us. So doesn't really matter. In the end of it, if anything, we just got a fantastically entertaining race for you guys. With some quite comical, weird glitch kind of thing. I still can't believe Gasly glitched out of the map. And Bottas as well. Unbelievable stuff. What a mental Mexican Grand Prix that was. So in the Drivers' Championship, Verstappen actually gets, well, he actually was in second place. I actually forgot he got ahead of Sainz actually beforehand. But he is actually a bit close now. Because Leclerc had a DNF, remember, or a 0 points finish in Suzuka. And he had a, well, like, what was, he got 4 points today. So, somehow, I didn't actually realize how close Verstappen maybe was. But he's actually closed this up to 7 points in the championship. So, with 2 rounds to go, it's actually all to play for. Though, remember, if Leclerc doesn't have issues, that Ferrari is actually much quicker than the Red Bull car. So, we'll see. But it's actually still very much on Leclerc versus Verstappen in this Drivers' Championship. Constructors-wise, Ferrari running away with it. For us, we're running away with it versus Mercedes. They only gained 2 points there, so we're still looking pretty comfy. But it is a day, well, it's a day to remember for the episode and for the series, I guess. But it's one to forget in-game in terms of a double DNF. We put it behind us, and we will just go to the next race in Sao Paulo and reset. But, yeah, one thing's for certain. So far, after the patch, having had 2 wet races, it seems like after the patch, a wet race is just mental now in this game after the patch, and a dry race maybe less so, and quite challenging. So, bring on the wet races, I say, for a lot of the episodes. But guys, if you have enjoyed that one, I'm sure you did, because it was mental, hit the like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.